All right, we're recording again. Welcome back, everyone. This is Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining as always. We're going to read now for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant for the month of May. So these are a little bit late, but yeah, I had to take a break, and break I did. So yeah, I went to Wales, had some nice hiking, had some beautiful views of the of Erie National Park, and just had a really good time. So that way I could just kind of relax and recalibrate and recharge, because I know that the next 6 months are going to be an absolute ball ache, and we're just going to have to find a way to get through the chaos. However, that said, we're going to look into what's taking place for Aries, or Arians who had their season not too long ago. We're now going to see what's going to take place for you for the month of May. We'll just look into this briefly, but if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so you don't miss any updates from future postings. Also, feel free to support the channel however you want. I'm going to leave that up to you. Anyways, now we're going to use a different series of decks. I've got the normal one that I've used occasionally for shadow work, which is the Wild Unknown Tarot. It's these here. However, I have finally found their accompanying deck, which is the Archetypes. And these are lovely, and they have the same artwork. Red, well, not red, but round circular cards here, which are a little bit difficult to shuff, but I mean, to shuff. But if I can get my words right, I'll be able to explain to you what they all mean. These archetypes give us a little bit of a backdrop to the story and as to what is going to take place for this period. So for you, dear Aries, you got the vow. Now, vows tend to be sacred. I know in Norse mythology, as well as even in Old English, it's a very, very strong thing for someone to have, to profess to. If you break your oath, you have essentially destroyed the bond, the social contract between people. However, in this particular case, you're doing it. It could be a vow to yourself. It could be a vow to someone that you care deeply about, but we'll find out in just a second. So with this, we have the vow. And the vow, when it is spoken, the air shifts, karmic ties are formed, and destiny tilts on its axis. Our words and intentions have immense power. There's a reason the great mythic stories of our past often include the recitation of oaths, and the mixing of drops of blood is a mark of union. The tricky part is that reciting the vow, no matter how casually, activates the eternal and unforeseen forces of the world. The ancestors bear witness. The law of nature responds. These promises cannot be unsaid or forgotten, so breaking them can have lingering complexities and loose ends. This card calls us to acknowledge the vow that we are living by, consciously or consciously, either recommit to it or create a ritual that signifies its closure. You've been underestimating the power of your promises. So what you are being called to do is to recognize what you have promised yourself, what you have committed to, and how that is going to affect you. Are you keeping your word? Are you keeping your promises? Are you acknowledging your vows? Maybe this is a wedding vow, which you have made to someone that you care deeply about. This is a vow to yourself, maybe to not do something again. This could be, a promise to yourself to get to a specific goal. And then after that, you can give yourself the ability to celebrate or to commemorate that milestone. Whatever the vow is, that's what's going to permeate throughout this reading. So in this reading, you had in the recent past the Five of Cups. With the Five of Cups in this, it talks about feeling disappointment over something. You look at the Three Cups that are spelt before you, not noticing the Two of Cups, which represents the reconnection of head and heart, behind you, leading to the castle and the traditional right away. In this one specifically, I get the image of, if you can see it, I get the image of a horse. The horse is, of course, well, a horse is a horse, of course, but anyways, that wasn't supposed to come out anyway. I get the image of a horse, which symbolizes going on journeys. This is the Sagittarius card, another fire sign. And with this, we talk often about a journey that we have taken for ourselves in order to get to a specific place, to get to a specific point in time in our life, and feeling disappointed about it because it didn't go the way we wanted it to. So that said, we come to what clarifies, which is the Page of Pentacles. It's about learning the practical things. When you have the Page of Pentacles, it's about learning a skill, a trade. It could be about starting a job, and maybe something that you were trying to do in the past that was going to help you to upskill and help you to build yourself up. You found out that was either disappointing because it wasn't necessarily what you wanted to do, or maybe it didn't go properly. And now you're finding that it's tricky for you to keep moving forward in that venture. Now, that said, I can pull another card just to clarify it. Yeah. So you get the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Perhaps you felt like you should have taken a bigger risk on this. I got the Fool as well. But maybe you feel you didn't get to the milestone because you didn't take enough risk and put enough action into what it was that you were trying to achieve. And this can make us take a knock on our confidence, can make us feel as if we are inadequate in many ways, but is not the case for a lot of us. Oftentimes, we just need to reassess the actions that we have taken in order to proceed towards a venture and to try to reach a goal. We then start to look into what's taking place in the present. In the present, we have the Ten of Cups, and this is clarified by the Nine of Cups. So maybe you're getting that familial support. You're allowing yourself to kind of take a break from what it was that you were working on, and then you're going into, a phase of your life where you feel much more content, happy. You're moving away from the Five of Cups to the Ten of Cups, which is great because it shows that you are twice the person. You feel like a whole person, not just simply half. And by doing so, this allows you to see where you actually do find your happiness. I'm going to pull another card. We have the Eight of Swords, clarifying the Ten of Cups and the Nine of Cups as well. So I'm asking the question, I guess, to this particular Aries I'm speaking to. Are you afraid to be happy? I think what you're realizing now that you're having to feel the fear and do it anyway, because you have the Five of Cups in the past, clarified by the Page of Pentacles, and the need to take a bigger risk so that you can receive an advantage in something that will make you happy. So it's all kind of about learning and reassessing the vow that you have given to yourself, that you would choose to be happy, that you would try your best to put yourself out there a little bit more, that you would try for that promotion, whatever it relates to. Because remember, this is an algorithm. This applies to the program that you have put in motion for your life. And by doing so, you are now getting to a space where you are much happier and you are nervous, but you're feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And that's a very good place to be in, because we grow more so in the places in which we are uncomfortable in our life. And that allows for us to tackle the fears, the insecurities, the doubts that we have within, and grant us the capabilities we need to learn, to develop ourselves, and to finally overcome the obstacles of the past. Now, as we're doing this, of course, we have to realize that because it is the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Swords, your happiness lies within first and foremost. But there's a part of you that tells yourself, is that going to be enough? Am I going to be able to get through this despite my trajectory towards the goal of being happy? Maybe of building family, maybe of doing something in which you feel that it would be much more conducive to focus on the positive rather than the negative of the past. Rather than being in the Five of Cups, maybe it's time for you to move into the Ten of Cups and see that, put your energy towards that rather than the spilt milk from the past. And then we come into the last bit, which is the Ace of Wands here. Ace of Wands here is in the reverse, so that means it could be a false start or delay. However, you have some cards here. So the reason why this false start is happening is because you're waiting for things to come into play. You're waiting for that judgment call. And right now, it's a bit difficult for you to see the best strategy for that moving forward because you're not really sure which direction to take in order to close out this cycle. The World card here. So we said the vow. One of the vows was bringing things to a close if we find that we're not able to if we're not able to honor the vow that we have spoken. So this judgment call is going to be very, very important for you. It's going to allow you to see whether or not you've actually been on the right path or if you've actually been doing something that no longer serves you. Whilst you do that, it's going to be even more critical for you to kind of act in the right moment rather than rushing or going too far forward. When we have the Knight of Swords, this is kind of a bit of a warning not to be too stuck or to be too brash and brazen. Because when we do that, we prevent ourselves from taking action at the right moment, and that in turn leading you towards a positive outcome for things. So it is imperative for you to use your intuition to find the right balance and to move forward when you're called upon to do so. That's what the judgment's telling you there, and the world. So honestly, you move from the judgment, which is card 20, to the world, which is card 21. The thing that is between all of these two. You have judgment. The card that comes after that is the world. What's stopping you from closing out your cycle is this impulsivity, is this lack of knowledge of how you're supposed to move about. And sometimes it can be a character of ruthlessness, to say the least. But that is what's going to cause that Ace of Wands in the reverse. Not to say you'll lose passion for something, but you may have a false start if you act in a way that is too forceful or not forceful enough. And it's up to you to see the balance of how that plays out. The outcome of all of this, Magician in the reverse and the Temperance. So it's about, again, patience is a virtue. If you want to achieve this thing, if you want to make something happen, if you want to reach a goal, you have to know when to, I don't know why I'm getting the song in my head, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. But what was that saying, that Kenny Rogers or something like that? But know how to play the game of getting what you want. If you vow to achieve something, to receive something, to do something, in order to make that vow successful and not give up on it, it's important that you take the right actions and the right measures and reciprocal measures needed. So that's going to help you in the long run to achieve these goals. Now, for example, we can pull back. We can have a little bit of story time as I talk about the cards and stuff. Many people have been going through job searches, and in recent times, I've had to go through my own job searches. There was one time where it took me a long period to reach the goal that I was looking for, and it took me over a year to find the right job. In that process, I couldn't just give up. I had to keep persevering despite not having, a support system in the immediate environment other than, a job center or a friend that helped out quite a bit, or, other things that I could fall back on, even the motorcycle that I had at the time, allowing me to just kind of clear my mind and have a little bit of moto therapy while I was, undergoing that that transformative period. When I finally came to and found the right job, that prepared me then for the next stage. So that job then lasted a period of time. And then after that, when, markets went to really bad way, it prepared me so that it was a lot easier to find work in the future. And by doing this, I was able to see that when it was time for me to act, I didn't give up, but then I didn't take the first job. I had to use my intuition to know when the judgment call was coming, know when to take the right job, and then that paid off massively in the future. So that helped out a lot, helped me to become stable, and also helped me to build my skill sets. In your case, when it comes to matters of the heart, love even, you may be trying to understand what it was in the past that made you lose out on specific love interest, or, that made a mistake from the recent, something that you did recently. And try your best to focus on the positive and the joyous occasions in your life that will give you the onus and the impetus so that you can take the right action in the near future. So people get their hearts broken. Not to say that you give up on love entirely. You can be open to it, but maybe not pursue it like you're lacking in something, important. Or maybe not to just cut it out all entirely and then you never get anything and then you just kind of sat there doing absolutely fuck all. But, it's about knowing how to manifest that. It's about being patient enough to know when you need to manifest something that's going to be your true north. By doing this gives you better control over the affairs of your life. It also allows you to become a master of your domain. Aries, they say stereotypically they're impatient. That's not necessarily true. They can also be very brave. And again, they're linked to the planet Mars, which is also linked to the sphere of Gavura, which is in the fifth sphere of the tree of life. So even though it can be the sphere of severity, it can also be the sphere of bravery and getting things done because you have activated your survival mechanism, which forces you to find a creative solution. As they say, necessity is the mother of invention. And by saying that, you can definitely give yourself the ability to overcome whatever challenges happen in the near future. Just bide your time. When the time is right, take the opportunity. Anyways, advice. You're almost there. That's your card, 9 of Wands. Don't give up. Don't give in. But just keep persevering. You're at the end stage. Star in reverse, as the other part of your advice, is telling us that maybe it's time for you to, again, find your true north. When things feel hopeless, when you feel rudderless, when you're not sure how to act or what to do, sometimes you might need to look towards a star of sorts, a guide, a person, a bit of advice that helps you to take the right action when necessary. 4 of Cups. Don't jump on the first opportunity. Take the opportunity that is going to come your way at the right time. You've had the 3 of Cups spilt in front of you. Now it's time for you to wait for the right cup, the 4th cup, which is supposed to arrive. I think that's really all I can say about it. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Good luck, Aries. I hope everything works out well for you over the month of May. Get some sunshine, get out, because, many of us will be using our bikes in the near future and not using vehicles because of the utter lack of petroleum products. And more so even that, the chaos that ensues. But don't give up. Think you've got this. Thank you so very much. This has been Aluminum Tarot. Until next time, love and light. Bye now.